بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبع هداه واقتفى أثره إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, inshallah, before we go on explaining the pillars of Al-Iman, we're going to talk about the meaning of Al-Gayb. What does Al-Gayb, the unseen, mean? Okay. The unseen in Arabic is called Al-Gayb. Comes from the root غاب يغيب غيابا, which is to be absent or not present. For example, in a classroom, when the teacher takes attendance, he says present, 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 absent. Absent in Arabic is ghaib. It comes from the same root as al-ghaib. So al-ghaib is the something that's not present, or the unseen, something you don't know, you can't see. Okay, let's give examples of things in Islam which are considered al-ghaib. Things like punishment of the grave. After death, we believe in the punishment of the grave. If you are a bad person, you get punished in the grave. If you are a good person, you get rewarded in the grave. Believe in things like al-barzakh, the life between this life and the hereafter, while you're in your grave. Things like the hereafter. Things like al-lawh al-mahfuz, which is a book in which the future of everything is written, which is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Things like the angels. Things like the way the earth was created are all parts of al-ghaib in Islam. Okay. We've got a few points here. First of all, why believe in al-ghaib? Secondly, different types of ghaib in Islam. Firstly, why believe in al-ghaib? Someone can come and say, I don't believe except in what's proven by science. I don't believe except in what I can feel, what I can smell, what I can touch, what I can hear. Sounds like a very logical argument, doesn't it? No, actually, it's a very stupid argument. Why? Because everyone believes in something that has not been proven through what you can feel, what you can touch, through senses. There has to be something you believe in, which is you believe in it because the person who told you was trustworthy, or so on and so forth. For example, the existence of oxygen. Everyone believes oxygen exists. Why? Because that's what it is. Everyone knows that. If there's no oxygen, we would die, yeah? But most of us haven't seen oxygen, haven't felt oxygen, haven't smelled oxygen. Have you smelled oxygen? Have you seen oxygen? Have you felt it? Have you heard it? No. But we know it exists. So everyone who believes in oxygen believes in something he cannot physically prove. First point. Second point, you were created. The whole world, universe has a starting. Everything has to have a start. How was it started? You may believe that God created it, as He did, or you may claim that there's no God and the Big Bang created it. Either way, you believe it has a start. Did you see that? Did you feel that? Did you experience that? No. You are either building it on something you've heard, like as Muslims who have proof that the Quran and the Sunnah is the truth, Islam is the truth, they follow as Allah tells them, or assumptions and you could say guesses, like the theory of evolution. Either way, you know that something happened and you cannot physically prove it. There was a big fire. You didn't see the fire, you didn't hear of it, but you met hundreds of people. Everyone is running away from this fire saying there's a big fire coming from down there, or there's an army invading from down there. Would you go and check for yourself to make sure, or would you believe what people tell you and go and run with them? Obviously you run with them. Or there's a flood coming, you run because everyone's saying it, it must be true. The amount of people that told you that, or sections or types of al-ghaib. First of all, ghaib, which is especially for me, things that I cannot see are part of the ghaib for me. What happens in China right now is part of the ghaib for me because I don't see it, I don't know it. So it's part of the ghaib for me. For that person in China, it's not part of Gayb for him. First aspect. Second aspect, whatever's in my mind, no one else knows except Allah. You can't know what's in my mind. If you claim to read my mind, then you are committing a great sin which takes you out of Islam. You are claiming to know the unseen. Okay, you might say, a mother can look at her son and say, I know you're lying. True, but she says that because of her experience with her son. She knows her son and she knows when he lies. It's not because she can read his mind. Okay? Anyone who claims they can read minds or they can know what you're thinking about through magic or whatever, that is completely unacceptable, and that takes the person out of Islam. Okay. Thirdly, Gayb only Allah knows. Things like he mentioned the ayah, وَعِنْدَهُ مَفَاتِحُ الْغَيْبِ لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا هُ. He has the keys of al-Gayb, no one knows them except him. Things like when you're going to die. Things like what your future wealth's going to be. Things like when rain will come, where rain will go. Things like when wars will happen in the future. 100 years is going to be a big war between this and that. You can't know. Certain level, let's say you expect a war between this country and that country, you might be able to guess. Or there's clouds, we expect it to rain, you can guess. So what's going to happen in the future? You don't really know. Examples of things only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Okay. As a Muslim, we take knowledge of al-Gayb in related to Islamic matters, things related to religion, our belief system, the angels, the prophets, hereafter. We take that only from Al-Quran and As-Sunnah, from the Prophet ﷺ and from Allah. Because no other source has the authority to talk about al-Gayb. We cannot accept it from anyone else. Why do we accept it from the Quran and Sunnah? Because we have a lot of evidence that prove the Quran and Sunnah is true. Once you believe the Quran and Sunnah is correct, you must follow it in everything and you must believe what it tells you. Okay, so that is the unseen in Islam. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.